Hey yo, what is groovy? What is good? It's your boy Papa Capes, and we are back with yet another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today, I'm going to be talking about something that I personally haven't really seen much of online, and that is mid-game live arena in Raid Shadow Legends. Yes, you heard me right. I guess I'm either brave or stupid, but I'm going to be playing some live arena today. I do often compete in live arena. Sometimes I get to a place to where it's just impossible to win fights, and that's where I just take a break from it. However, it is one of my favorite parts of the game. So I know that I've shown my arena team quite often. We've got Arbiter as bait, and that's Arbiter's build. I even got the cool skin for her. And then we've got Artur, who is usually my main speed lead. There's his build. And then we've got Supreme Galek, who is one of the main nukers. That's his build. We've got Mikey, who is the main nuker in this team. That's his build. And then we've got Ugo, who is the enabler of the team. She comes through with that Ugo tech and just allows for Mikey and Galek to clean up shop. I'm not going to touch on any other champs. Maybe once we get into the live arena battles, I am forced to use some other champions. And then I'll touch on my thought process when it comes to that. Keep in mind, I'd like to preface this by saying I'm in no means, way, shape, or form a fantastic arena player. Actually, I know I'm not, all right? I just want to talk about my experience, as this is about my journey, right? So let's not waffle on too much more. All right, let's jump into some live arena. By the way, one last thing. Look at your boy out here saving resources. 6 ancient shards, 4 voids, 1 primal, 3 sacreds. We're getting to a place to where I will do the first fusion on my account. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. And yeah, Demon Lord has been extremely kind. The last 2 days, 48 hours, I've received 2 sacred shards from Ultra Nightmare and 1 sacred shard from Nightmare. So without further ado, we've got 3.5 hours. We currently find ourselves in Gold 2. And yeah, I can't really remember if this is the highest I've been or the lowest I've been. We are in territory where people are just out here swiping and things, you know what I'm saying? So let's see how it goes. There is a thing in live arena, well, these are like your total live arena points, right? But then there's something that happens in live arena where there's an additional point system at the bottom. And when that happens is usually when I struggle with live arena, because people are just way above my level. And that's where I find myself competing a bit less in live arena. I'm not sure what that means. Please let me know down in the comments below what that second scoring system means and what the criteria is to make it into that. I'm not lazy. I can just go and Google it, which I probably will. But like I said, I enjoy engaging and conversing with you guys about it. So this guy could be a bot, no clan, level 100. Let's hope that's not the case. We've speculated and gotten to a place where we're like, okay, cool. If the homie takes more than 15 seconds to pick his first champion, then he's probably a bot. However, players sometimes troll, and sometimes I wait out the full timer just for guys to pick their teams. So let's see how it goes. And this is one of the things that makes live arena tedious, regardless of where you find yourself in raid, mid-game or end-game or early game. It's just something that live arena does. Sometimes it can literally be a waste of time in terms of these sessions, and other times it's rapid. Other times all 5 keys or all 10 keys, or regardless of how many access tokens you have to play live arena, sometimes it's rapid and you get like, you're able to be efficient and you're able to actually play the game and not just spend majority of the time waiting for your opponent, who in some cases is a bot, in some cases is just a troll. You don't need to wait for them to do this. And I don't know enough about it yet to perhaps come up with a solution. I'm not one that just likes to talk about problems and not have potential solutions. So I'm not really gonna focus on it too much. It is what it is for now. It's out of my control, and I'm just gonna make do. We'll finish off our team selection with our trusty Ugo. She comes through. And yeah, so I know Soul's got a revive. Padrek has no revive. Alice is a big nuker. Not sure what Makage does as yet. Don't even know who this is. I see him a lot in like big clan boss teams. So I'll probably ban Alice here because I know it's a nuker. And if this is a bot, Arbiter's gone. which is fine. That's as intended. Arbiter is gone, so this is just speculation. I could be wrong, but this is probably a bot. No clan in their name, which means they're not part of a clan. This could genuinely just be a bot. Also, taking the entire turn timer to actually do something, that's a troll who's busy with something else on the side, or it's a bot. And that's why most people put their bait leader in the first spot, because if it's a bot, they'll always ban your first spot. As far as I know, again, everything I'm talking about could be horribly wrong. So as I've spoken about before, we start out with Artor's A2, and then we'll come through with Ugo's A2, and then Mikey's A3. It puts Taunt up with that, and then Galax A3. So we need to focus on getting rid of Soul now. I doubt we'll have another turn before Soul's turn meter goes, but maybe Artor could sneak one in. We get rid of Soul. I'm pretty sure Mikage doesn't revive. I know for a fact Padraig doesn't revive because I have a Padraig on my account. So he's got an ally attack, he's got a continuous heal, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't revive. Hopefully Artor can sneak in and attack before Soul. She's the only one here with the revive. Soul goes before, so Soul will res. I don't know the champion's name, but Soul will probably res this, even if it's a bot. As predicted, Soul did a revive. We'll come through with Artor's A1. This then allows for us to try and eliminate Soul. I don't know what he has on offer. Soul's revive is going to be on timer now, cooldown timer. So let's take out Mikage. And then this should take out Soul as well. It does. So now we're left with an ally attacker, and I don't know what this champ does. So we've got a res that gives you A1 attack as well when used with Artor. That then takes out their Padraig. And yeah, this should be our fight. I don't see why not, but this should be our fight. Decreased turn meter over there with some leech. Leech didn't land. Mikey almost able to. I'm going to do the revive. So yeah, okay, if I felt that this fight could be going on, I would have done the strengthen on the A2, but I'm going to do the revive because that then revives Galek with their A1, and that A1 should then finish off our enemy. There we go. So first one, W, probably against a bot. Let's keep going. So this video might be slightly repetitive, but obviously my team isn't always going to be the way I want it to be, and that's where I'll introduce people like Ezio, people like Lakad to my roster, maybe even Rector, as she might come through clutch in survivability and just outlast the team's attacks and then slowly but surely revive my teams. But I'm going to be sticking to the team that I'm familiar with. So I do go for Mikey early always, because I call them login Andes, like no disrespect or anything, but there's oftentimes people who, there's nothing wrong with it, but there's oftentimes people who choose champions that you have earned throughout the journey by just logging into the game, right? And again, nothing wrong with that. It's not an insult or anything. It's just a term that I use if I'm in a voice chat. And I know for a fact that you're going to see Otto, you're going to see Mikey, you're going to see Ezio, you're going to see Alice. So yeah, I would usually ban Alice here instantly off the bat, but I know that he's actually super strong. I'm not sure exactly what his kit does, what his kit has on offer. I still think we should go with Alice here. Let's see how it goes. Kaimar's got a 30% aura lead, 30% speed lead in arena. So let's see who's faster. Probably them. So if I survive, we might stand a chance. If I don't, okay, we're lucky enough to go first. Again, we start out with Otto's A2, come through with Ugo's A2. She then allows for us to potentially do some damage, and we've done damage, and we'll go in with Galax A2 as I feel. Wait. Why is he back? Why is he back? Okay, this might not be good. I know that he's a hard hitter, but I didn't know. This might kill Mikey. Yep, it killed Mikey. Okay, thank you, Mikey, for your sacrifice. We appreciate you. You were able to get him down low enough while sacrificing yourself. But I was kind of shocked there when, is it Solinar or Solar or something along those lines? I did not know that he just revives himself because he can. Might have dodged a bullet there, yo. Might have dodged a bullet there. Do any of you currently have him as a champion? I don't want to say, do you have Solar or do you have Solinar? Because I'm not 100% sure. Newer champ, if I'm not mistaken. If you do, let me know if you use him in arena. Let me know if you use him in PvP and how much value is added to your account. Embreeze at the start, so we'll go with Arbiter and Mikey. Oh, we're so close to getting Embreeze. We're so close to getting Embreeze. And in the current event, we have secured his 3-star soul, and now we are working towards the fusion. Shout out to Siki once again. Homie came in clutched, helped me out with tons of energy. just so that I could do it. We won't be able to get his 5-star soul because we missed out on the Mavara event that linked in with some of these tokens, or some of the Embreeze event tokens. So we won't be able to get his 5-star soul. But I mean, some people have had Embreeze for years with no soul. So I was aiming for his 1-star soul, and then Siki made it possible to earn his 3-star soul, and that's what we've successfully done. And now we are pushing for the fusion token. So far they've got Embreeze, Thor, Shuzen. No idea who this mythical is, and I know I've seen her, but I'm not sure what she does. So this is where, as a mid-game player, there's tons of champs in raid. Almost 1,000 champs, if I'm not mistaken, like 970, 980 around there. I don't have the experience to know exactly what they do. Thor, I'm familiar with. Shuzen, I'm familiar with. Embreeze, I think I'm familiar with. But the only 6-star awakened, this is probably a GG's, but let's try it anyway. Yeah, Mike is out. That's fine. My auto is built with bolster, so hopefully this allows for me to have that shield at the beginning of the fight to maybe survive their attacks. But my main Nuki is gone. Let's see how it goes. Shuzen's going to open us up. She's going to do a decreased speed on me and a decreased turn meter. Thor is nuke. Yeah. Okay. So that was just one of them where my hands are tied. My hands are tied. If I don't go first, it's GG's. But with 2 very solid speed leads, I know Shuzen is a 30% aura. I'm not sure what hers is. It's possible that it's 30% as well, maybe 28%. This is also one of the reasons that I've played on more accounts and I've started more accounts. Whenever there's an interesting champ in like a download link, right? Or a new code, like for example, Padre or Cheshire Cat or whatever the case may be, I find myself starting accounts with those champions that I don't have, so that I can play with them. In playing with them, I learn their kits, right? I know it's as simple as just going into the index, clicking on the champion, learning their names, learning their kits, but just because you know what they do doesn't necessarily directly mean you're going to understand their usage. So that's one of the reasons that I also tend to start multiple accounts, just so that I can learn champs by using them. Again, people say knowledge is power. I disagree. Applying that knowledge is the power. Okay, so there's our man's Sun Wukong. And is this Eostrid? That is Eostrid. I think she's also got a 30%. There's a 30% here, I think a 19% here, and a 28% here. So everybody in this team so far is faster than my auto. Bomber, Nuker, Controller, Turn Meter Manipulator. Again, not 100% sure what Kage does, but I almost find myself in a place like I don't want to ban Armands because I feel like they put in there. It's such a tricky place to be in, because with this is like the meta. No, I want to use meta, but hear me out. The meta is putting the champ that you want banned in the first spot, but then it could be, I just want to make sure that I've got him in my team, therefore he's in the first spot. But some people are like, oh, if you go against bots, they always ban the first spot, so don't risk putting your best champion in the first spot. So I find myself in a tricky place sometimes mentally. Are they putting their best champion in the first spot to secure their spot in their roster? Or are they doing it as bait, right? Very weird place to be in. Am I the only one that thinks that way? Okay, so we've somehow survived, but I think Ugo's gone. I think Galec's gone. Yep, called it. Otto is gone as well. And Mike is gone. Okay, so we never got to attack there except for the automatic counter attacks from Otto and Galek. But Nishak came through with those bombs and he did his damage. So we go again. So we currently, as we in Q year, find ourselves on 3,370 live arena points. And we matched up against a guy with, what, 400 odd points more than us. Not too much of a difference. Those points also aren't a proper indication of who's going to win or any of those things. What I look at is account level. Account level 98, they've been playing way longer than I have, which means that their gear arsenal has a way bigger variety on offer. But also with the recent introduction of mercurial gear, you also think to yourself like, these guys are level 98, level 100, any high level, you're like, okay, surely they are farming Grim Forest, right? They've got the champion roster to farm it on hard, therefore they might be in mercurial gear. So it's just another thought that I have whilst choosing. So Ezio being the first pick here, makes me think, okay, maybe this is a login Andy. So after Ezio, there might be a Mikey. That's why I'm again securing Mikey early. Okay, we do have another poisoner in Mithrala, and that's not Lamasu, right? I need to build my Mithrala for all the content in the game. When I checked Hell Hades after I finally got Mithrala, she's the first 5-star overall champion on my account. I've got 4 stars, I've got 4.5 stars, but she's the first 5-star that I have on my account. So clearly that means I need to build her, right? And we also just got her 1-star soul. So that helps a bit. If you guys didn't know, Mithrala recently helped me clearing Bommel for the Marius missions. I have made a video about it, not specifically that. I made a video about why I play Raid, and whilst I was playing Raid, that's what I ended up doing. I built a Mithrala with regen and immortal set, and I just spammed her A1, and then when needed shield, and then A1 and then shield. This is the only champion I don't know, so I guess we go for that. He's got a 19% speed boost, she had a 20%. Okay, Galix a better ban than Mikey. That makes me happy. We could nuke here, we could possibly nuke here, and we've got the balls to set the shields on at the beginning for in case we don't clear them first time. Stone skin though, Ezio doesn't have a res, Harvester Jack doesn't have a res. So I guess here we just focus on doing what we would usually do to get as much off of Mithrala and the big turtle thingamabob there. I don't know why I did increase attack when Arto's buff was still on them. That's such a waste of an ability. See, sometimes I make these stupid mistakes and it triggers me. I get so triggered at myself. Ooh, when Harvester Jack used their ability, I thought those were going to be bombs. Surely we go with the res nice and early. And then we'll go through with the A2. Resisted. Again, my Arbiter is really not built well. Ezio's A3 comes in, and now don't we wish we didn't res. So this is my fault. Okay, let me not be a troll here. Let me attack, lose the fight, and then I'll talk about that. I will remember. Okay, there we go. So I think that was my fault, and that's purely bad game sense, bad awareness. Why? I don't use Arbiter often. I know she's got a revive that revives my entire team. I've only got 1 champion down. I've seen that the enemy's Ezio hasn't done his A2 yet, which is an AoE. Why would I risk raising my Mikey before getting the A2 out on the opponent's Ezio? Do you know what I mean? That's so silly, man. It's silly. It is poorly executed on my side. Poorly executed on my side. So we'll go with Arbiter and Mikey, because this could potentially be a login Andy, lower level, 64. So when I say lower level, I mean lower than my level. So there we've got 2 logins. We've got a Lemonisi and we've got a Zeno. Luckily for me, these are champions I'm somewhat familiar with. No idea who this is. Zeno could come through with some clutch though. Manaya, if I'm not mistaken, I pulled her recently, and then Soul. If I'm not mistaken, she doesn't revive, so that's his only reviver. Hopefully they ban Arbiter. After what I've learned recently about Zeno, I'm going to ban Zeno, because as recently I've learned that Zeno can hit very, very hard if in the right hands. I'm pretty confident with this fight. This should be me wiping them off before they get a turn. So that's exactly what happened over there. Mikey hit for 226k. So when I do see a lower level and I'm familiar with the champions that they've got, I'm a lot more confident going into the fight. Even if I left Zeno there and I banned someone else, I don't think the outcome of that battle would have changed. So again, more often than not, I find myself in these fights against a max level account, against somebody with higher live arena points than I do. But sometimes, like a session like this, in terms of time used, session like this is not bad. Also, another thing that's introduced when fighting a lower level player is you think to yourself, do they know that strat of putting your first player in as bait in case you're up against the bot? Or are they also just thinking, I need my strongest player first to secure that pick? That's still something that breaks my brain when I think about it, because I'm not sure. I'm just not sure on the mentality that people use when selecting their rosters. You guys have been introduced to my mental a little bit, so tell me about yours. What do you find yourself doing? Do you use bait? Do you ensure that your first pick is the one you definitely want in your team? What goes through your mind when choosing your roster for Live Arena, regardless of where you are in the game? Okay, so off the bat here, not scared of Geomancer, even though it's a +4. Geomancer is not an arena champion, in my opinion. Wukong can nuke, yes, and this might make them faster. But UDK would probably be in Stone Skin, and I don't have anybody to strip that Stone Skin. And he just increases longevity of all of them. So I'm going to go with the UDK ban here. Guess now we'll never know if he was in Stone Skin or not. But this is just kind of where my thought process is. Anybody that offers to increase the duration of the fight in the way UDK would. Okay, so if his Geomancer is in Stone Skin, surely his UDK would have been in Stone Skin as well. So now, let's take them all out. Ezio survived that. I wonder if the perfect veil contributed to that survival. Not going to use the A3, going to use the A2 to do some damage to Ezio. Well, it took him out entirely, but I didn't want to waste that whilst Geomancer still had the Stone Skin on him. So he's going to use his ability now. The Stone Skin's gone. This should bring back Monkey King. It does. This will decrease the turn meter, which it does. So we've bought some time there. Geomancer goes again. Hopefully my Mike still got torn, so that's fine. Monkey King still went, so he can nuke. Okay, nobody dead. Kelly comes through with the A3. Doesn't do much damage to Geomancer at all. Interesting. I never really use this heal, but I'm going to now. I like to keep it for, because again, Ugo's mechanic, she can only res the entire team if she's the last one alive. So I never really use that res, but now I'm going to. I've also got a gemstone in my relic for Gallic. Every critical hit that Gallic does destroys max HP as well. That should finish him off with Mikey's A2 there. Good fight, good win. So just to digress a little bit, it is critical hit, but I wasn't 100% correct. So as you can see, that's the one that I use on him. Don't ask me why, but it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice. Let's get back into the arena. Modern Norseman. Got around 400 live arena points more than I do. Love his banner though. His banner looks really cool. Sorry, not the banner, the avatar border. Please don't be a bot. Please don't be a bot. If this is a bot, it would kind of be a bit weird, because bots usually only show up after a couple of losses, in my experience at least. And we just won that previous fight, so not quite sure if this is a bot. What is that ability she does? Is it fervor? Is it fervor that she does? I don't even know what that does. So how do I play against the buff that I don't know? I've got a Torment. This I think is Augustine. Oh no. When I see the red, I just get a little bit disheartened. But I've beaten some mythicals before. Okay, let's go for the only way that they can outspeed me. So hopefully us going first does enough damage to survive this, because I feel like if the opponent goes first, we're dead. Okay, luckily we do have the highest speed. Let's see if we can finish this off. Increase attack. Let's go with the A2. Now she's blocked. And now Augustine goes. Hopefully my Ugo and Mikey go. Wait, what happened to my Ugo's turn meter and Mikey's turn meter? What? How did I lose so much turn meter? We know it wasn't a bot. Okay, we've got 2 more battles left. Let's see how it goes. 3,417. Closer to me. Level scares me. Let's see. Can we end off with another 2 W's? I guess. Ooh, Leo, insta-ban from me. Leo scares me. Leo can one-shot my entire account. He can one-shot my entire account. So that's an insta-ban for me. I don't care who else is in this guy's roster or this girl's roster. I'm banning Leo instantly. Insta-ban on Leo. I wonder what goes through the minds of my opponents when it comes to who they choose to ban. If you had to come up against me in live arena with my exact roster, the way that you've seen me choose my champions, what would go through your mind that would dictate your ban? Please let me know. I'm quite curious. That'll be some interesting insight. because maybe my theory of Arbiter as bait is completely irrelevant and people don't even think that. Insta-ban for Leo. Guys, if we go first here, we could win this. We could win this. Let's see. It's only 3% more. They go first. This might be a GG's off the bat. Stuns everybody except for Galek. But now, Galek did land the block buffs on the entire team, which is phenomenal. So little bit of control there. As you can see, everything popped up. Block buff, or buff blocked, buff blocked, buff blocked. So that's kind of nice. Decreased defense though, and everybody's dead. Inithware. Who is that? And where did they come from? To just nuke my entire team with a block revive. Like what? Inithware. I don't know. Alright, last one. Let's go. I don't know who that is. So yeah, currently where I find myself on my account is that I'm so reliant on 4 or 5 champions, which I've mentioned before as well. But my live arena experience is quite the same every single time I do live arena. There's not this vast variety of reliable champions that I can just pick and choose from and counter picks of my enemies, or see, okay, cool, this is what they bringing to the table with that pick, let me counter that pick with one of these champions. I don't have the luxury of doing that yet, or at least to my knowledge. Maybe there are certain champions that I have in my roster that could counter other champions that we fought tonight. This is very possible, and it could just be, I could just be ignorant to that. But if that's the case, within the next couple of weeks or months, I will learn, and that will be a pleasant surprise for me. But right now, as you can see, the main people I choose are always the same. So live arena for me isn't something that is super exciting because of the champions at my disposal. I just really enjoy it. So when it comes to games, do what you enjoy as often as you possibly can. Who do we ban here? Bike, so good, man. 28% to 19%. Okay, we take her out. That leaves 19% over there. I know that Bayer can eat hard. I know that he is possibly one of the newer champs that have made it into the arena meta. But if I can go first, we might win. Not having a ton of champs to choose from, not fully understanding kits of the champions that I'm going against, these are things that I'm all excited to learn because I feel like it will enhance my live arena experience. Okay, we do go first. Auto comes through. A2, strengthen, decrease defense, Mikey, and Galek. Everybody dead except Trunda. I think it's Trunda. So if we can survive 2 attacks, we should be good. We've only lost Galek. I'm going to bring Galek back up. That's fine. And then I will push the heal in. Her stone skin's gone. Didn't she have 2 turns of stone skin? I thought she had 2 turns of stone skin. So why did she lose the second one? Okay, that also confuses me. Maybe I just don't pay enough attention. So yeah, that's 10 keys in live arena. That is 10 live arena tokens used. I think we've seen enough. I don't want to go on and buy tokens with gems, because this wasn't to show how many wins or how many losses. This was purely to let you into the mind of an average mid-game player who enjoys live arena with his account as is. You know what I mean? Regardless of my wins, regardless of my losses, regardless of the ratio between the two. It's just content that I enjoy. So it's content that I'm going to do as often as I possibly can. Things I want to highlight is that it's not that it's impossible with a mid-game account to actually level up in live arena. As you can see, we are in gold 2. And if I take you through to my area bonuses that you can only level up with live arena points, as far as I know, first thing I went into is obviously faction wars, but there are some upgrades over here, mainly focusing on speed. And this is all because of live arena points. This does make a difference to your account. Like, it compounds over time. So it's worth doing live arena, especially for the primal courts that you get to get additional primal shards, the multi-battles. The rewards are decent. So I feel like neglecting live arena is not a wise thing to do, especially if you're enjoying it. You know what I mean? Sometimes you'll win, most times you'll lose. It is what it is. So that's the one thing that excites me the most about Raid as a whole, is learning more about champions, more about champion kits, more about how people tend to use these champions. It's also about adapting. If I have champion knowledge of my champs, obviously, and if I am familiar with champions on the account of my opponent, then I can start to adapt. Then I can have specific bans because of certain areas of their kit that scares me, or that I know is going to eliminate the strengths in my kit. But what matters the most is the consistency of trying and just adapting a mindset of whatever's out of my control, let that be. Play it as often as you can, because for me, I enjoy it. I have fun with it. So if you find yourself around this stage of your account and also find yourself enjoying Live Arena, what's it like for you? Please let me know down in the comments below. The conversations that we've been having in the comments are truly one of my favorite things about uploading these videos. I genuinely enjoy it. Is Live Arena something you enjoy, or is it something you simply tolerate because it does add to the growth of your account? I'm your boy Papa Capes. Happiness is a choice, kindness is free. Leave your mark, yo. Peace out.